Yes, in last lecture I have discussed the different types of sterilization indicators. Today we will see the next point of our syllabus, that is equipments used for large scale sterilization. That first, I have already discussed what is sterilization. The sterilization is a process, or the sterilization process, it differentiates the biochemical and chemical process from each other. Yes, what I am saying, that is it differentiates both. It differentiates the biochemical and the chemical process from each other. Then second, an engineer or a biochemical engineer specifically provides a contamination free environment during the entire process of sterilization. Yes, in large scale sterilization, an engineer or specifically the biochemical engineer, it provides a contamination free environment during the entire process of sterilization. In ancient times, the most of the processes which are performed well in terms of technical feasibility at laboratory scale faced at the challenges of contamination the scale of operation is also when the scale of operation is increased. The traditional example is of penicillin fermentation. During this penicillin fermentation, the engineer had to face the technical and operational problems, which was designing and operating the deep aerobic fermenter under the contamination environment with fewer culture, because this is because of the environment inside the fermenter which was favorable for the growth of contaminant. Yes, this is because of the environment the environment inside the fermenter which was favorable for the growth of contaminant or the growth of microorganisms. Then this had led the few new era of biochemical engineering as a distinct discipline in engineering and also technology field. Even the mechanical fabrication of fermenter, it should be performed by the engineer who are aware of this designing and also the fabrication of the fermenter. Otherwise, the mechanical engineer or the versatile in fabrication of the chemical equipments fails to understand that the asepsis is essential for the biochemical engineering operations and not for the chemical equipments. Then the biochemical process of producing metabolic products. The biochemical process of producing the metabolic products by the action of microbes or the group of microbes on a substrate in the presence of nutrient in the medium is termed as a fermentation. And the process of fermentation, it involves first microbes, then second medium, third fermenter, next nutrient or the other additives, and last that is air in case of aerobic processes. Yes, this fermentation which involves first that is microbes, then second medium, then third fermenter, fourth nutrient or other additives, and last that is air in case of aerobic processes. A sterile environment should be maintained for all the above. It means a microbe, medium, then fermenter, nutrient, and also other additives, and air in case of aerobic processes. The sterile environment, it should be maintained, or else the large amount of contaminants will develop, the resulting in zero yield or the product contaminated with toxicant. Then the attack by foreign organism or the contaminant, it may result in the following problems. Yes, what I am saying here, the attack by foreign organism or the contaminants, it may result in the following problems in the process of fermentation. First problem, the invaded foreign organism contaminate the final products. First thing, that is the invaded foreign organism, it may contaminate the final product. Then second thing, the organism will utilize the medium for supporting their growth. Yes, second, that is this organism will utilize the medium for supporting their growth. Then next, The contaminated product is obtained instead of desired product. Yes, third thing, that is the contaminated product is obtained instead of desired product, and this mainly occur in continuous fermentation process. The next thing, the contaminated products interferes with the isolation of desired product. These contaminated products interfere with the isolation of desired product. Then the aerobic fermentation, for example, yes, the example of aerobic fermentation, that is fermentation of antibiotics. The aerobic fermentation and a unsterile air spoil the fermentation products. Then the methods to avoid contamination in fermentation. There are different methods that are used for avoiding the contamination in the fermentation process. First method, medium sterilization. Then second, using a pure culture or by the use of pure culture. Then next, fermentation sterilization. Then sterilization of pipe. Then sterilization of valves. Sterilization of bend, etc. in contact with the fermentation process. Next, air sterilization. Then sterilization of material to be added to the fermenter. Then next, disinfection of the fermenter and also contact part using non-toxic disinfectants. Then maintenance of aseptic condition in the fermenter during fermentation. And next, the maintenance of optimum or the desired pH, which restrict the growth of contaminant or which restrict the growth of undesired organisms, thus the preventing the formation of undesired product. Then the following points should be considered or observed to ensure the sterility during the fermentation. Yes, see here, there are 2 points which are considered or to ensure during the sterility during the fermentation. First, that is sterility of culture media, and second, the sterility of incoming and outgoing. I am repeating the methods which are used to avoid the contamination of fermentation process. First method, medium sterilization. Then second, using a pure culture. Next, fermentation sterilization. Then sterilization of pipe, sterilization of valve, then sterilization of bends in contact with the fermentation process. Next, air sterilization. Then sterilization of material to be added to the fermenter. Then disinfection of the fermenter and contact part using a non-toxic disinfectants. Maintenance of aseptic condition in the fermenter during fermentation. Then maintenance of optimum or desired pH, which restrict the growth of contaminants which restrict the growth of undesired organism. Therefore, thus the preventing the formation of undesired product. Then there are different points which should be considered or observed to ensure the sterility during the fermentation. First point, that is sterility of culture media, and second point, that is the sterility of incoming and outgoing air. We will see one by one. First point, that is sterility of culture media. And that the nutrient media, it contains the different vegetative cells and the spores derived from the contaminant. First point, that is sterilization of culture media, and second, the sterility of incoming and outgoing air. First, we will see the sterility of culture media. In that, the nutrient media, it contains the different vegetative cells and spores which are derived from contaminants of culture media. Yes, which are derived from contaminants of culture media, water and vessels. These cells and spores, it should be removed by sterilization before inoculation. Yes, what I am saying, see here, these cells and spores, it should be removed by the process of sterilization before inoculation. Although the numerous large-scale installations are available for sterilization, the commonly used mechanism for it, that is heat sterilization. There are number of methods which are available for large-scale sterilization. In that, first, the commonly used mechanism for heat, in that the heat sterilization, then second batch sterilization, third continuous sterilization. So these are the three methods which are used for heat sterilization, batch sterilization, and third, that is continuous sterilization. In first, heat sterilization, in that the nutrient media is sterilized by using heat. Yes, in heat sterilization, the nutrient media is sterilized by using heat. Then there are factors which are affecting on the heat sterilization. First factor, the number of and the type of microorganism which is to be present. First, number of microorganism, and second, the type of microorganism present. Then second, culture media composition. Then next, pH value, and last factor, that is size of suspended particle. I am repeating the factors. First factor, the number of microorganism present. Then second, the types of microorganism present. Then next, the composition of culture media. Then pH value, and last, that is size of suspended particles. Then we will see this particular cells, then time required for sterilization and the temperature required for sterilization. First we will see the cell, then time required for sterilization and the temperature required for sterilization. First, vegetative cell, the time required for sterilization 5 to 10 minutes, and the temperature required for this, it is 60 minutes. Then fungus spores or the yeast spores, the time required for sterilization 15 minutes, and the temperature for this, it is 80 degrees Celsius. Then next cell, bacterial spores or the general, the sterilization time it is 5 minutes, and the temperature required for this 121 degrees Celsius. Next cell, spores of bacillus, the time required for sterilization, it is 15 minutes, and the temperature for this, it is 121 degrees Celsius. So this is all about heat sterilization. Next, that is batch sterilization. The batch sterilization is the reduction of contaminant organism through the heating of vessels. Yes, what is batch sterilization? It is the reduction of contaminant. It is the reduction of contaminant organisms through the heating of vessels. The entire volume of media is sterilized at once through the use of thermal or the radiation technique. Yes, in batch sterilization there is use of which technique? That is thermal technique or the radiation technique. When running the thermal batch sterilization, a system goes through the three steps. First, that is heating. First step in batch sterilization, it means we can say that the batch sterilization is carried out under three steps. First step, that is heating, then second holding, and third, that is cooling. There are three main steps which are involved in batch sterilization. The first step, that is heating, it requires the addition of energy throughout the entire medium. The first step, that is heating, it requires the addition of energy throughout the entire medium volume, and this can be done by the adding heat through the jacket on the vessels. Then the temperature is increased until it reaches the sterilization temperature, where it is held for a set period of time. Then during this phase, the most of unwanted microorganisms, unwanted, it means which are not required for, unwanted microorganisms are destroyed. Finally, the system is cooled to bring the sterile media back to the desired temperature. Then for radiation sterilization, the process is similar to above, although it uses the radiation intensity instead of heat. Then merits of this batch sterilization. First merit, it is mostly widely used technique. Then second, yes, what is first merit? It is most widely used technique. Then second, simple operation. Then next, no additional material are added to the media itself. Yes, third merit, the no additional material are added to the media itself. Next, that is demerits. First demerit, it is, or this technique is more expensive heat requirement than the continuous sterilization. And second demerit, best result occurs in well mixed closed vessel. So this is the batch sterilization. Third point, that is continuous sterilization. The continuous sterilization is the rapid transfer of heat to medium through the steam condensate without the use of heat exchanger. Yes, here what I am saying, the in continuous sterilization, it is the rapid transfer of heat to the medium through steam condensate without use of heat exchanger. What is important here, that is without use of heat exchanger. Once the media is in holding loop, the steam is injected through the system via nozzle. The steam is injected through the system via nozzle. Then the medium stays in the loop for a predetermined holding time until entire medium is sterile. Then this is a more efficient, that is this continuous sterilization is more efficient than the batch sterilization, because instead of expending energy to heat, instead of expending the energy to heat, hold and cool the entire system, the small portion of the inlet streams are heated at a time. Then by looping the sterile media tube, it means which are at higher temperature, the past inlet tube, the difference in the temperature is used to help the heat the unsterile medium. Then so instead of having cold water stream cool the sterile media, then lower the temperature unsterile media stream absorb heat from the warm steam and it cooling the sterile media. And finally the sterile media is flashed cooled through an expansion valve to adjust the temperature and to meet the process parameters. Then the merits of continuous sterilization. First merit, uniform steam requirement throughout the duration of the sterilization, and it is uniform steam requirement throughout the duration of the sterilization, simplified process control. Then shorter sterilization time means less thermal degradation of the medium. Then demerits, first demerit, high demand for steam in shorter period of time than batch, it means than the batch sterilization. And second, the concentration of media become dilute due to the steam condensation. So, and third demerit, since the steam is actually dispensed in media and steam must be clean to avoid contamination. So this is all about the sterilization of culture media. So this is all about sterilization of culture media. Next part we will see in next lecture, that is the sterilization of fermentation air. I will stop here.